So, with the possibility of, actually not even possibility, the assurance that Primarchs are returning, obviously with Fulgrim coming back soon, as well as there's rumors now that Leman Russ will be the next Loyalist Primarch, followed by another Traitor Primarch, probably maybe there's been a lot of talk of Alfarius returning, and maybe even Perturabo and Lorgar are waiting in the wings to return. There is a lot of talk of different Primarchs returning. But I've done videos talking about how yes, I'm not a fan. I'm not one of those people who think a Primarch should return. But since you've let that genie out of the bottle after Rabute coming back, it's kind of hard. It's really hard to close that book. It's incredibly hard to close that chapter. So, what to do? What can you do to it now matters on how to make it interesting. How Lion's return was more or less Lion's big return was more along the lines of a really cool and introspective story of a guy who was nothing short of an asshole the entire Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. Now he gets to be deep and introspective, and now also reunite his sons, redeem his sons that instantly fell to chaos at a drop of a hat. So, let's talk about how I'd like to see one Primarch in particular, and how he should come back. And that is Rogal Dorn. Now, obviously, Rogal is not one of my favorite Primarchs. I did a video not too long ago talking about how Rogal's probably one of my least favorite Primarchs, outside of, Conrad Kurz. So, how do you make... So why am I talking about Rogal specifically for this return? Why do I think Rogal Dorn's return should be, such a big deal? Why do I pick Rogal Dorn to make the big return out of all these other Primarchs? You're probably sitting there yeah, Multi, you don't like Rogal. You have no fucks to give about Rogal Dorn. So why do you want? Why are we doing a video talking about what we should do about Rogal Dorn returning? Well, we're gonna find that out together. So why did I pick Rogal? Like I said, Rogal's not an interesting character, but I think if you give him the right writer, and you have to talk about how his return and how to make it interesting. Now, obviously, people are gonna say, well, Rogal died at. It got retconned that all we found of his body was his hand. So, if you go by Star Wars, if there's no body, there's no chance there's no chance that it's dead, that the character's dead. And even then, even if you do see a body, there's a good chance that character will probably come back if it has enough fan love for it. So, I'm just saying, no corpse, just a hand. Yeah, you can just easily say Rogal Dorn can come back. Now, the big thing is that Rogal is the most stubborn, arguably the most stubborn and set in his ways Primarch, even more than Lion or some of the others. When Rogal is given a task, Rogal just goes out of his, will just go, put his head down and just proceed to do it, while at the same time, hoping for praise from Father, but he never got it. Now, obviously, let's talk about another thing real quick of what else Rogal should come back with. Now, obviously, Guilliman got the Emperor's Sword, Lion got the Emperor's Shield, so what should Rogal get from his father? I personally believe, and I've seen this before in several other videos, is that Rogal should get the Emperor's, clawed hand, that big clawed talon glove. I think that would be a cool way to, if they affix it to his hand, to the missing hand. Not, have it, regenerated or something. Actually have that, Angron fucking, beat the shit out of me, and I lost my hand in the battle, so now he gets to have his he gets to be, this is the close, and actually have it, a moment where Rogal's this is the closest I will ever be with my father, in my life. I don't know how to, comprehend that. The other thing is that, Rogal needs to have, if you're going to bring Rogal back, you really need to have him be pretty introspective, because dude almost caused a second civil war with his, after, the Codex Astartes thing with Guilliman. And I'd like to see like him come back and actually encounter Rabute and actually be like, oh yeah, that Codex Astarius, the whole break up the Legion, how's that going for you, huh? But I would really like to see him like, yeah, the Imperium still thrives. The Imperium, you know, continues to march on no matter what. And I think that would be an important thing where it's like, Rogal has this moment of, in my stubbornness, I could have helped so many others. Like, I could have helped so many others of my brothers. And there's like, now I don't know if, like, Jagatai is alive. I don't know if Vulcan is still around, even though he's perpetual. I think, like, it would be kind of cool, like, to hear, like, rather than, like, Lion, like Lion when he heard Gilliman was still alive, when Rogal gets, that news, is Rogal going to be like, I'm going to go punch him in the face, or is he going to be like, holy crap, one of my brothers is still alive? I kind of lean towards, because Rogal is so, again, dead set in his ways, that I think he would initially go to find Rabute just to blame this on him, like, blame this whole shit on him. I also would really like to see him, like, view this whole worshipping the Emperor, whereas Gilliman has to, like, accept this whole thing about the Imperial truth and all that, and everything else. I would like to see Rogal be like, why the fuck are you all worshipping my father like a god? He wasn't a god. Like, it would, but at the same time, I think it would, I would like to see him, like, still have that wake up of, like, yeah, the Emperor wasn't a god. My father wasn't a god. He was a powerful being, but he wasn't, like, some kind of, you know, Masonic figure that you're all worshipping him to be, and now you've just basically made him, like, one of the ruinous powers. Thanks, guys. I also would love to see how, like, Rogal kind of, like, step back and also kind of see how his, you know, again, that bullheadedness got him into so much trouble, shall we say. So I think it would be kind of cool, again, to have that kind of introspection throughout the story, whereas, you know, Lion was introspective midway. Like, it took him a bit after he got, reoriented. I'd like to see Rogal, because, again, Rogal's way more stubborn than Lion. So I'd like to see that whole book where it's just Rogal trying his best to, like, change his ways, but he is just failing at it, because he's just so dead set on being Rogal Dorn. I'm very curious to see also how the Imperial Fists, like, that's another thing I like, how would the Imperial Fists view Rogal Dorn's return? Would they be like the Ultramarines who are like, our father has returned, or the Dark Angels, or it's like, it's not him, oh my god, it's him, can you forgive us, father? Or and the other half being like, yeah, we're gonna kill you now. But the Imperial Fists are probably some of those unfun Space Marines out there. Of the Astartes, these motherfuckers are as every bit as stubborn and straightforward as their father. So, would they actually accept that that this person before them is Rogal, or be like, nah, you're not, and be like, and Rogal's like, I'm your father, I am the Primarch of the Imperial Fists, I am a son of the Emperor, and they're like, nah, you're not, he's dead, like, yeah, you can't, like, I want that moment where Rogal's, like, trying to convince the Imperial Fists, like, yeah, I am your father, and they're like, nah, you're not, and Rogal have that moment of, oh my god, is this what it's like being around me? Holy shit, I'm awful. But yeah, it's a matter of making Rogal less of a dick. Like, making like that. Like, again, you really need someone to really give him a better character voice, rather than I'm just a walking stone of and that's my personality at 24/7. So that's what I think is needed. Some of the things that are needed to make Rogal Dorn more interesting as a character. That's just me, though. I really do think that Rogal could, Rogal could easily be that. Rogal can be a lot of things, and I really do think that Rogal could probably probably break some of those characteristics, but still, I think you can still make him like deep and introspective about what he has done and what he is as a person, while at the same time you also have him still be that kind of stone ironclad character. You just need the right writer. I just kind of vote Aaron Dembski Bowden, but then again, Aaron Dembski Bowden is probably the best writer for anything Warhammer outside of Dan Abnett or Graham McNeil. That's just me. But yeah, another question let's ask ourselves, would Rogal have to be aged like Lion was? Or would he be, like, would we reveal that he's been in stasis this whole time? That he's been in, like, you know, a stasis like Gilliman, so he hasn't aged. I think I would be kind of down with with aging. Like, have it be that that Rogal was discovered by the Watchers, and he was put in a stasis, but that stasis kind of malfunctioned as he was in hibernation, and it did age him a bit. So you get an older, more almost haggard Rogal Dorn, like, oh my god, I'm still in this doing this shit. But yeah, those are just a few ideas I had. You guys tell me in the comments below, how would you bring back Rogal Dorn? And what would you want him to do in the Imperium? Just comment below, let me know. I might do other videos I do want to do one talking about Lorgar and how I would bring him back. In fact, that might actually be the next video. But yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below. I might do more videos talking about how I'd like to see this Primarch come back, because again, while I'm not a fan of Primarchs returning, it's the genie's out of the bottle, so now it's just all a matter of making it interesting. But yeah, so yeah, just if you're curious, if you want to see more videos like that, just comment below, let me know. And yeah, you guys tell me, how would you bring back Rogal Dorn, and what would it be like? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.